2 weeks ago, you probably thought AI coding meant autocomplete. Today, a lot of developers mean something very different. An agent that can open your repo, edit multiple files, run tests, and come back with a clean pull request, while you're doing something else. And that shift is why you're suddenly seeing long-form, full workflow videos, Codex versus Claude Code debates, and even entire 12-hour courses exploding in your feed. So in this video, I want to do 3 things. 1. Explain what agentic coding actually is without the hype. 2. Show what's really new in tools like OpenAI Codex, Codex CLI, and why it's driving this spike. 3. Give you a practical playbook, when these agents are amazing, where they break, and how to use them safely. This is the Daily Logs, and you are watching the Daily Logs. Let's start with the big misconception. The agent part isn't just marketing. Autocomplete tools live inside a single file and guess what you want to type next. Agentic coding tools are closer to a junior engineer you can assign tasks to, because they can read a whole codebase, change multiple files, run commands like tests, linters, or builds, and iterate until it gets a passing result, then hand you the diff and the evidence. OpenAI describes Codex as a cloud-based software engineering agent where each task runs in an isolated environment preloaded with your repo, and it produces evidence like terminal logs and test outputs so you can verify what happened. That's a fundamentally different interaction model than complete this line. And this also explains the new kind of content that's going viral. Instead of top 5 prompts, people are watching, here's my workflow for shipping features with an agent. Because once you can delegate, your bottleneck isn't typing, it's deciding what to ask for, how to scope it, and how to review it. Now, let's connect the dots to the outlier pattern. In the last couple of weeks, multiple channels all converged on the same idea. If you're using tools like Codex or Claude Code, you should stop treating them as a fancy autocomplete. You should treat them like an execution partner, with guardrails. OpenAI's own messaging has shifted in that direction too. They've emphasized Codex as a product that works across Terminal, IDE, Web, and GitHub, and they've talked about the Codex CLI being rebuilt around agentic coding workflows, including things like tracking progress with a to-do list, better formatted diffs and tool calls, and connecting to external systems via web search and MCP. Whether you use Codex CLI or another agent tool, the pattern is the same. Teams are trying to productize the workflow. Here's how we safely let an agent touch the repo. And you can see it in the content. Long workflow walkthroughs, debates about which agent is better, and courses that treat agent workflows like a skill. That's the outlier. Not one video, but a whole cluster that signals a behavior change. Let's make this concrete with a workflow you can actually use. Here's the mental model. You don't want an agent to write code. You want an agent to close a loop. And a loop has 4 parts: a goal, constraints, an executable check, a review surface. So instead of refactor this module, you say refactor this module to remove duplication, keep behavior identical, run test and lint, and show me the diff plus the command output. That one change is what separates, wow, it wrote something from, I can merge this. Here's a good agent task template I recommend. Context. What part of the repo, which files matter? Output. What should change and what should not change? Quality bar. Formatting, types, tests, performance constraints. Verification. The exact command to run and what success looks like. Safety. Do not touch secrets. Do not add new dependencies. Do not change API behavior unless instructed. If you do this, agents become ridiculously good at mechanical refactors, adding tests for existing behavior, fixing boring edge cases, updating docs consistently, and exploring a large codebase to answer, where is this defined? Where they still struggle is also predictable. Ambiguous product requirements, complex architectural decisions, and anything where done isn't measurable. Now, the dangers nobody puts in the thumbnail. If this is becoming the default, we need to talk about the risks, because they're real. Risk number 1, scope creep. Agents are eager to be helpful. If your prompt is vague, the diff will be huge, and huge diffs are where bugs hide. So your rule should be small tasks, tight acceptance tests, clear boundaries. Risk number 2, unsafe execution. An agent that can run commands is powerful. It can also cause damage, delete files, run destructive scripts, leak tokens, or install something you didn't mean to trust. This is why approval modes matter. Least privilege isn't optional. If an agent doesn't need network access, don't give it network access. If it only needs to edit a subdirectory, don't run it at the repo root. Risk number 3, false confidence from passing tests. Passing tests is great if your tests are good. If your test suite is thin, an agent can ship something that passes and still breaks production. So when people say, agents can run tests, my response is, cool. Then your tests just became your primary safety rail. If you don't have them, the agent can't save you. Risk number 4, cargo cult workflows. The agentic OS idea is useful until it becomes a ritual. You don't need 5 agents running in parallel for a simple change. You need 1 agent, 1 task, 1 measurable finish line. How to know if a video is signal or noise. Okay, last piece. How do you tell whether the viral Codex versus Claude Code content is meaningful? Here's the filter. Ignore the tool war. Watch for whether the creator shows a baseline, how they worked before, a measurable task, the evidence loop, diffs plus tests, and the review process. If the video is mostly vibes and big claims, it's entertainment. If it shows a repeatable loop, it's a real workflow signal. And the reason I think this topic is peaking right now is that the ecosystem is converging. The tools are getting better at running loops, the interfaces are getting better at reviewing loops, and creators are getting better at teaching loops. That combination changes behavior fast. Closing. Here's my prediction. Autocomplete won't disappear, but agentic coding will become the default for anything that's more than a single file change, because it's the first time AI tools can actually save you time without requiring you to babysit every keystroke. If you want, I can do a follow-up where we take one real feature, something like adding a new API endpoint or refactoring a UI flow, and I'll show you the exact prompts, the guardrails, and how I review the diff before merging. Until then, don't just ask the agent to code, ask it to close a loop. Thanks for watching the Daily Logs. I'll see you in the next one.